Hello, everyone. How you doing today? Thanks for stopping by to check out the channel. This is Facts Not Feeling. I'm Alan Latham, your host, and the Russian propaganda has worked so well that they just they just absolutely say things like when you mention Ukraine, they say, "Well, I mean, I don't know, Putin's not really that bad of a guy. I mean, Putin wanted peace." And some of you don't know, you're like, without, choking somebody, but you want to know what do I say? How do I respond properly without, and I think that, it's you have to remind yourself, we have to remember, those who don't learn from history are destined to repeat it. We saw this happen with Hitler, and we hate to keep making this reference, but I mean, Putin's making it too easy. He's just following step by step by step. So I just want to help, maybe for those that are Ukraine supporters, I want to equip you with knowledge, refresh you with some facts that will help you to discuss with people and help combat this information war that the Ukrainians are fighting. We can help them fight this. Each one of us can help in our area of influence, our sphere of influence. We can help by having the facts available, and we can help clear up some of this Russian propaganda garbage that's in people's heads. And so let's start. At first I want to, like I said, somebody said to me, very nice guy, average guy, family guy, hardworking, isn't overly involved in watching the news. He just kind of follows the news. He's conservative, and he just looked at me and says, he just, I don't know what the problem is. I don't understand why we're helping Ukraine. Putin wanted peace, and Zelensky didn't want peace. Not to mention, all the stuff we send over there, it gets blown up. I mean, half of Ukraine's already. I mean, all this nonsense that you hear, it's not true. So let's start off with Putin is, as a reminder, I want to remind you that Putin is a wanted war criminal. And I think that's kind of lost on some people, that Putin is a wanted war criminal. The I.C.C. here, this building you see right here this is in the Hague. This is the same place where the Nazis were tried, and hopefully this is the same place where Putin will be tried one day. Today, 17 March 2023, pretrial Chamber 2 of the International Criminal Court, I.C.C., issued warrants of arrest for two individuals in the context of the situation in Ukraine, Mr. Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin and Miss Maria Alenskevna.
Today, 17th of March 2023, the International Criminal Court has issued two warrants of arrest in the Ukraine situation for Vladimir Putin, President of the Russian Federation, and for Maria Lvova-Belova, Commissioner of the Russian President for Children's Rights, for the alleged war crimes of deportation of children from Ukrainian occupied territories into the Russian Federation. It is forbidden by international law for occupying powers to transfer civilians from the territory they live in to other territories. Children enjoy special protection under the Geneva Convention. The contents of the warrants are secret in order to protect victims. The I.C.C. attaches great importance to the protection of victims, especially children. Nevertheless, the judges of the chamber dealing with this case decided to make the existence of the warrants public in the interest of justice and to prevent the commission of future crimes. This is an important moment in the process of justice before the I.C.C. The judges have reviewed the information and evidence submitted by the prosecutor and determined that there are credible allegations against these persons for the alleged crimes. The I.C.C. is doing its part of work. As a court of law, the judges issued arrest warrants. Their execution depends on international cooperation.
And some of the stories are just heartbreaking. I cannot imagine my kids being taken away from me. I don't. Anyway, so he's a wanted war criminal. Um, Starting to be a list of people with warrants out for war crimes. Um, Sergei Ivanovich Kablash, Lieutenant General of the Russian Armed Forces, who at relevant time was commander of long range aviation of the Aerospace Force, allegedly responsible for war crimes of directing attacks at civilian objects. Articles 8.2b, Roman numeral 2 of Rome Statute, and the war crimes causing excessive incidental harm to civilian or damage to civilian objects. Um, So yeah, so we got Sergey, and then we got Victor Nikolaevich Sokolov. He was the Russian Black Sea, uh, the Admiral Russian Navy, was the commander of the Black Sea Fleet. Now, you may or may not remember this, but um, about a year and a half ago, uh, the Storm Shadow missile went through his office window, and he has not been seen or heard from since. Because you
в центре города Айвазовского. Вот так вот что-то горит. Прямо рядом с нами промчались ракеты. Это Севастополь.
I don't think that warrant will ever go any further than it is, because he has been and then of course Shogu and Gerasimov, but this other individual here, this guy, long range aviation. See, here in the States, we witnessed a horrific terrorist attack in New Orleans that's just heartbreaking and terrible, and got everybody's attention. You know that this guy planned out this horrible attack and pre-planned to go out and just murder people, innocent people, just out living their lives and minding their business. And he's going to go out and drive a truck through there, and it got everybody's attention, as well it should. And the people that witnessed it are just just traumatized that saw this. I've heard some of the interviews, and as well they should. We're not built to see human bodies torn apart and the horrible. And this happened in New Orleans. That's got everybody's attention. Well, imagine in Ukraine, this has been happening every night, every single day. And I don't mean just the war. I mean the onslaught and attack against civilian structures. Imagine this individual here, this guy, Sergey, commander of the Long Range Aviation Aerospace Force. So he tells his officers, "Look, I need you to locate me some good juicy package, some good targets, you know, and I need them to be scattered around Ukraine, just places where there's going to be, people, because we need to terrify these people. We need to, and Putin has given us the order to just keep killing civilians until they give up, till they finally, and they've had enough. So find me targets." And so this guy tells his subordinates, or to and so imagine your job is to go out and to your job in the morning is to wake up and you go on Google Earth and you pull up a house, you pull up a apartment complex, and you zoom in, and you zoom into the apartment complex, and you get yourself where you can see how many people are you can count the floors, you can count the apartments of the people that's there, and you can see how there's 40-50 people living there, and you and then you get the longitude and latitude of that apartment complex or hospital. Because sometimes I'm sure they say, look, no, we don't want an apartment. We want something better. We want children's hospital. We want the cancer hospital. We want the maternity ward. And I don't understand. I mean, this is the mind of evil. This is evil incarnate in our time. And this is what Ukrainians are dealing with. And they need our help. They need people. If you are supporting Ukraine, if you support Ukraine, you need to speak up. You need to do whatever you can do to spread the word, to combat Russian propaganda. You need to, it's helpful just if you can't afford to send money. It's just helpful to, help spread the truth, because it's important. It's critically important. But imagine your job is to pick out this longitude and latitude, and you got to get 5 or 8 packages, locations, and you send those up, and then that they get approved by the commander there, and then that is given to like a weapons officer, who then determines which which missile is going to be best for the job, which missile is going to do the job, is going to produce the most casualties, because these are very expensive missiles. So if you're going to spend, hundreds of thousands of dollars or $1 million on one missile, you might as well get your money's worth. So you might as well, get a few kids and old ladies, and make sure you carnage. You need carnage. That's the goal. I mean, these guys have been doing this for years now, and every night that the Ukrainians go to bed, they don't know if it's going to be their house, their neighborhood, their sister, their mom, their brother. I mean, the trauma that these people are living under is, and we have the ability to put a stop to it. Trump's coming in office now. He has the ability to put a stop to this, and it's definitely not going to come from causing a truce or a peace and locking the lines where they are, so that millions of Ukrainians are locked or are imprisoned basically under Russian occupation. Because these same evil people that are putting in these coordinates and loading missiles up on an airplane, and the pilots are given, and everybody involved knows that they're hitting an apartment complex. They know they're hitting a residential neighborhood. Everybody involved. So none of them are innocent. Yes, they're following orders, yes. But they know what they're doing. They know this missile is going to hit that cancer hospital tomorrow morning, or, tonight, or they know it's going to hit this 20-story apartment complex full of people. They know that's what they're going to do. They know. The guy loading the missile, the guy picking the pilot, the assistant, everybody involved, they know. And they go through with it anyway. And it's terrible. It really is. It really is terrible. I mean, most recent Russian strike, Zaporizhia kills 13. So, like I said, we just experienced this trauma in the U.S. with the New Orleans, and it's heartbreaking, and it makes me sick to my stomach when I think about this guy, former military, that did what he did in the name of ISIS, just murder people. I don't get it, but I'm not trying to in any way diminish or make light of it, not at all. I'm trying to say, but imagine in Ukraine, this is happening every night, guys. They need our help. We promised that we would help them. We said we'd help them, and this particular strike here in Zaporizhia was a glide bomb, a GPS guided or Glasnost, or it was a guided bomb. It was hit this apartment complex right here, and then of course all the everything around and about it, but hit this apartment complex here, and just it does what it does. I mean, it just kills people, and it's awful. It's horrific, and the Ukrainians deal with this every day. So Putin's a war criminal, as well he should be, and every one of these things is a war crime, right? So hopefully that he will eventually be sitting in the I.C.C. in the Hague at some point and be answering for his crimes. I believe, absolutely believe that he should. I do believe that he should. And this is every single night all around. Russian forces struck 37 settlements in the Kherson region over the past day, resulting in 2 fatalities. This is every single day, guys. Every single day. So, the rarely, if ever, do you hear them that they overnight they struck a Ukrainian military. I mean, they occasionally do, but for the most part, they seem to just, it's obvious because you can see the evidence of it the each day. It's not like they're just lying on the Ukrainian news and making it seem like Russians only hit civilian targets. No, they actually show the destruction of the civilian targets and the dead civilians every day. So, there's that. Yeah. So now, on the contrary, the Ukrainians seem to be able to reach out and hit Russian military targets, and they're quite good at what they do. This last one, this was in the last 2 nights where they hit this Ingalls um, bomber base fuel supply. So these, they've been hitting these oil reserves. Well, these Tu-22M and Tu-95M, Tu-160s. These are strategic Russian or Soviet bombers, and 40 of these bombers were actually in the possession of Ukraine before the signing of the Budapest Memorandum, and they ended up handing them over as actually part of repayment of debts when they were eliminating their nuclear weapons, and now the Russians are using these exact bombers that were given to Russia. They're using those bombers to target Ukrainian targets at night. Let's see. Russian strategic aviation Tu-22M3, Tu-95MS, and Tu-160 are the weapons behind Moscow's brutal attack on Ukraine cities. Once Ukraine had over 100 of these bombers, however, financial debts and international disarmament pressures led to rapid decline. The former airfield of the 185th Heavy Bomber Aviation Regiment on Poltava stands as a silent witness to its lost power. This was a really good little video this guy did here for 1924, and they actually interviewed some guys that actually flew these bombers for Ukraine. But these particular bombers happened to use a certain kind of fuel that was stored at its Ingalls base. So there's a very good chance. Now this Ingalls base was 600 kilometers from Ukrainian territory. So this is well out of HIMARS range. This is all Ukrainian provided weapons that hit this facility, and from what I understand, it's still burning, and it's taking its toll. It's taking its toll. It's doing its thing. So I was happy to hear that our Congress here has finally recognized Russia for what they are in this incredible, horrific, genocidal invasion of Ukraine, and they're calling it what it is. They're actually a motion has been set forth to recognize Russia as genocide. That's what's happening in Ukraine as genocide. And I do hope that gets approved, and because that's what it is. That's just what it is. So Anyway, so next time that you're talking to somebody and you're trying to show your support for Ukraine, just remember who Putin is. Remember that this is a genocidal invasion. They're trying to erase and remove everything to do with Ukrainian people, Ukrainian heritage, Ukrainian, and they need our help. They need our support, and I believe they've earned it. I believe they earned our support. So, Slava Ukraine. Have a good day. I'll see you next time.